Forward Progress, a Chicago Bears podcast with Dan Bernstein and Matt Abaticola on 312 Sports.
Well, it's on now. It's on now. As we discussed, for the Bears to go into that building and come away with the win in the fashion that they did, 24-15, they, in their own way, and the way they just punched that team in the mouth and ran over them, just put the NFC on notice, if not the rest of the league. That's a hell of a win right there. That is.
It absolutely was, Dan.
That's one hell of a win there.
24-15, and you can talk about all the bad things the Eagles did in not tackling, in poor coaching. The Bears came out and played one hell of a football game, and they were coached very well. Great play calling from Ben Johnson. The defense, again, showed up, even with guys out from their starting lineup, and the Bears played one hell of a football game on the road against the defending world champions.
They just bled them out. They absolutely punched them and punched them and punched them and bled them out. We are brought to you here on Forward Progress, a Chicago Bears podcast, by Beer Church Brewing, New Buffalo's brewery, pizzeria, and a historic church, wood-fired Neapolitan pizza, small batch craft beer, brunch every day. Visit beerchurchbrewing.com. The Bears have clinched a winning record for the year. The Bears have 9 wins, and to do it the way they just did it, the unofficial totals that I have in front of me, Kyle Monangai, 130 yards on 22 attempts. DeAndre Swift, 125 yards on 18 attempts. This is going to go down as one of the most dominant and significant rushing performances that the Bears have had. Certainly in recent memory, certainly in my memory. This is, you talk about a wheelhouse win for Bears fans. You can say everything about Ben Johnson and this pass and that pass, but the satisfaction somewhere, Doug Buffone has an ear-to-ear grin right now, is all I can think about. It's just what they did. The interior of this line, the entire offensive line, but guard, center, guard, from early in this game, walling off a side of the play and hitting it on the backside with zone, with duo blocking, some of the double teams that they had. If that is the kind of thing that you enjoy as a Bears fan, they gave you, that offensive line gave you absolutely every bit of joy today.
Dan, that first half of that game, the Bears had 16 first downs to the Eagles 2. The Bears had 47 plays to the Eagles 17, 223 yards to the Eagles 83, 142 rushing yards to the Eagles 26. Now, unfortunately, it was only 10-3 at halftime, but they absolutely took the Eagles offense that hadn't scored a touchdown in the previous 2 quarters and held them to 4 scoreless quarters. I mean, they were with 4 quarters without a touchdown scored. The Eagles in the first half, 2 3-and-outs, a 5-play drive, a 7-play drive for 3 points. That first half, and the time of possession was 21 minutes to 9 minutes. It was an absolute, utter domination. If you would have watched the first half of the game, not knowing anything about the NFL, and said, which team won the Super Bowl last year and which team was 5-12, you just said, oh, wow, the Bears must be looking for a second Super Bowl win in a row. They looked like the absolute dominant class of the NFC playing that game just now, winning over the Eagles in Philadelphia 24-15.
If I may, I don't know if it's going to happen, but I am awarding a much-deserved, much-delayed game ball to one Nashon Wright. That play that he had after the inexplicable interception on the screen pass, where after the missed extra point, the Bears' lead was cut to 1. Here come the Eagles on the Chicago 36. Barkley rips off a 15-yard run, and they run their little adorable tush-push on 3rd and 1. And what happens? There is no – and the moment I saw was it one of the side judge ran in and threw the beanbag. And you saw it. You saw him throw the blue beanbag. And I'm standing up saying, it's a fumble. That ball is out. And as soon as he threw it, you knew it. And it just took time for everybody else to realize what was going on. The moment that beanbag is thrown, that means you've got a loose ball. And Nashon Wright went and took it. He not only took the ball, on their signature play, he snatched their soul. That's what he did. They say, here we go. Here comes our little tush push, and nobody can stop it. Well, you know what? The Bears can. And they did. And that was the game. That's when you felt it. You felt all the air go out of that building. Not as much as at the end when you could hear the Let's Go Bears chant. But Nashon Wright, that may be the play of the year.
Well, he's certainly made other plays that could be in consideration for plays of the year as well. And I'm looking forward to hearing later in the week from Dennis Allen when he's asked about that particular play. Because we heard it going into this game earlier this week about how he likes to defend the tush push, where it's more of a rugby scrum from Dennis Allen's perspective. And I want to know if it was inserted this week where you take a guy off the edge and you go after the football. That we're gonna stand up the guys in front of the quarterback
as long as
our
he's
guys,
not down, as long as
he's not down,
dead,
right?
You take the damn ball.
Like I want to know if that was inserted or if that was there all along, or if Dennis Allen said, "Hey, this is what we're gonna do to counter that this week." Because whatever it was, and if it was all Nashon Wright, if it was part of the defensive set now, was absolutely brilliant play. And like you said in our text conversation, if he doesn't get awarded a game ball, Nashon Wright just said, I'm going to go take one.
Yep.
This is my game ball.
He's going to get it himself. Because the other thing I expected was Kevin Warren to run into the pile and grab the ball himself and go running with it. Man, I want to throw a couple bouquets in the direction of Caleb Williams. Rough day for him on balance because it was the wind made it difficult to pass the ball for everybody. But I want to single out Caleb Williams on the drive that sealed it. While we can look at that 28-yard touchdown pass to Cole Kmet, which, by the way, with 20 touchdown receptions as a Bears tight end now, he has tied Greg Olsen for second among tight ends all time in Bears history, second only to Coach Ditka for receiving tight ends or receiving touchdowns for a tight end.
For a tight end, awesome.
And on that series, there were 3 plays that Caleb Williams made that mattered. They got the ball on their own 41 on a 3rd and 4. Caleb Williams stayed in the pocket. He waited for DJ Moore to come open, and he feathered a pass to him over outstretched hands. He didn't zap it to him. He didn't try to do too much. He just laid it right on him for the first down. And then there was another 3rd and 4, and it was on Caleb Williams to read the play at the mesh point. And he did with Swift in the backfield, and they had Zacchaeus as a zero route possibility, depending on who crashed, depending on which blockers they had outside, and they sent Kmet in motion. And it was Caleb's call to make that little reverse pivot flick out to Zacchaeus, who was able to convert it for the first down. Then that set up the touchdown because of everything else that they were doing. But that was, dare I say, outstanding high-level game management at that point from Caleb Williams.
Well, then I'll piggyback on that as far as Caleb Williams and something that stood out to me today on what he did well, and I think it was a deliberate part of the game plan from Ben Johnson and Declan Doyle. Caleb completed three passes today rolling to his left, which is a very, very hard thing to do. Mm-hmm. And what it does, though, Dan, is rolling out the opposite direction is it makes him keep his proper body posture as a quarterback to have a proper throwing angle, and it also takes off extra miles per hour on those throws. So it requires some nice touch. It requires him to see the play develop before it actually happens, and then requires really nice touch. And he made 3 excellent, including the touchdown pass to Cole Kmet going to his left. I think it was deliberate and part of the game plan, and it slowed him down just a half a step in his brain to make that excellent throw, and he did it 3 times, and it was awesome to see that. I put that in my notes. I highlighted it all 3 times. Just outstanding play calling, outstanding execution by Caleb Williams. And one other play I want to highlight, there was actually a formation, a sequence that Ben Johnson ran 3 times also. It was with DJ Moore going, not in motion, but after it was post-snap, going in motion left to right. Mm-hmm. And the play ended up going as a running back off tackle to the left side that broke yards every time. And it was just in the first one, DJ Moore didn't really quite execute the block. It's just he goes left to right, and the play goes off right tackle. The first time he didn't quite get the block he needed to, but Monangai was able to get downfield for an explosive play. They did it 3 times with DJ Moore coming from left to right, and the play worked every single time. And it was a really great play call, and it was something you don't see where DJ is just out there to block. Normally DJ is getting the ball. And then a 4th time they did it where DJ moves, doesn't get the ball, and the ball goes to Luther Burden going left.
Good catch.
So really creative what Ben Johnson. Really creative what Ben Johnson did, and I love how he uses the same formations to run 3 or 4 things out of it, like he talks about with his offense. But really great touch by Caleb on those plays rolling out left, which is very difficult to do.
They did this on a day where Williams was less than his best, when the conditions were terrible, when not only was it windy, the turf was bad. And for whatever reason, people were slipping and sliding. This is a hybrid turf, I believe, of some artificial and some bluegrass. I think it's called the Hero turf.
Yeah, it happened to Moore. It happened to Burden. It happened to Blankenship for the Eagles on that easy, wide open first down by Colson Loveland. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know if they needed longer cleats or what the deal was, but it was not good.
Well, also, Azie Trapillo got the start at left tackle, and we weren't sure if looking at everything we learned during the week of whether or not it was going to be Theo Benedict. They did provide some help on that side, but I think you're looking at the O-line. I think this will be remembered as not only the game in which you saw this offensive line for this era of Bears football, the idealized offensive line, but their performance with 2 100-yard rushers. Now, at my advanced age, my memory may be faulty. I can't remember the Bears having 2 100-yard rushers since I was a kid. And I want to say it was against the Lions in either 84 or 85. I think it was 85, where it was Peyton and Matt Suey were both over 100 yards rushing. They almost did it in the first half of this damn game.
Yeah.
But this was a historic Bears rushing performance. And I could be wrong. There could have been some game where they ended up, but usually it's not in some loss that you forget, because you can't pile up rushing yards like that in a loss.
Well, Dan, I just looked it up. The last time the Bears had 2 rushers go over 100 in the same game was today.
Thank you. Thank you.
So before today, though, it was actually, you were right, November 10th, 1985 against the Detroit Lions, Walter Payton, Matt Suey.
There was. I don't retain a lot.
And now you didn't look that up before this.
I swear to God. I ran downstairs and sat down here, and I didn't have. You think I got time to start calling all this stuff up?
Well, yeah, you got a supercomputer in your hand.
Yeah,
so
I know, but I'm not that
Google
good at
easy.
using it. I'm not that good at using it.
No, you're not. I can guarantee that.
Yes, I ain't
technology. Grandpa over here, Unk, as the kids say. Jesus.
Yeah, to win it, the number of times I kept thinking, well, it's a matter of time before the Eagles figure this out. It's a matter of time. And after that interception, I said, all right, well, they hung in there for a while, but Jalix Hunt came up with, careful with that name, comes up with the interception on a screen pass on 2nd and 1, but I'll be damned that Nashon Wright came in there and made that play.
Right, and you have another interception by Kevin Byard on this game, so they just keep the takeaways going. That forced fumble and that recover by Nashon Wright. I mean, just unbelievable. A couple other guys I want to point out on the defensive line in the run game today. Montez Sweat played excellent against the run. I thought Joe Tryon Shoyinka also played against the run really well. Mm-hmm. Grady Jarrett gets his name called again for having plays in the backfield. So I don't know if he's getting healthier. I thought his knee was just going to be an issue that was going to keep him limited the entire year just with his age. I don't know if he's getting healthier, if it's feeling more comfortable, if it's an extra shot in the knee before the game, whatever it might be. but he's stepping up a little bit, and he's creating a little action in the backfield, and denting that pocket a bit, and being a force in the run game. So it's nice to see.
I'd also like to say thanks to the referees for not calling the DPI on Amen Obung Bamiga when it was obvious interference.
Yeah, I didn't get that at all.
Okay, all right. Well, that's one you take.
We'll take it though. Yeah,
that's
for
one
sure.
you remember. But the steadiness with which they just continued to run the ball in multiple ways. It wasn't the same play over and over again. We saw zone, we saw duo blocking, we saw the trust in the interior of this line. What a game by Dahlman. And if we're talking about Tooney as a Pro Bowler, Jonah Jackson is going to have something to say too.
Yeah,
he's
for
had
sure.
a brilliant year. He's been plowing people over, just finishing off plays. I mean, really outstanding stuff. Really, this kind of game, to do it the way they did it on the road in workmanlike fashion, sends a message here. This sent a message. The Bears are a winning team, and I think it's one thing to say, well, they're definitely going to the playoffs. I don't think you can be begrudged for doing, Maddie, exactly what you've been talking about for the last couple weeks of thinking bigger. Of thinking bigger than I mean, this team should win a playoff game.
Yeah, no, Dan, and we talked about that after they got to 8-3, and the last time a team started 8-3 after 11 and missed the playoffs was 1996, the Kansas City Chiefs. So that's why I started with it last week. Like, let's not think about, hey, this has been a great season. We've surpassed the expectations going into this year. No, you're there. Like, let's talk about playoffs. Let's talk about getting a playoff win. Let's talk about hosting a playoff game or two at Soldier Field, and let's get in some wins there. Another thing I want to point out about Caleb and highlight our young quarterback. Bears' third drive of the game. If you remember, on second and 1, there was a pass to DJ that if
Bad ball.
It was a tough ball. If he holds on, he threw it a split second too soon. If he holds on a second longer, then DJ's open, catching that ball towards the sideline could break it up the sideline. But the play I wanted to highlight was the 3rd and 1, the very next play, the QB keeper, the scramble, where he steps up in the pocket, goes back in the pocket, steps up in the pocket,
like a
goes
zipper.
back out of the pocket.
Yes.
Like a zipper. And there aren't many guys that have those feet at quarterback. And it's I mean, it was almost comical. It's like I'm expecting like the Benny Hill theme song to play as he's just going up and back, and then he breaks off to the left and scrambles out for some yards. And I laughed about it. It's not fair what he can do with his feet to defensive linemen.
And Ben Johnson didn't overthink this. That I know that Vic Fangio wanted to make Caleb Williams make throws to beat them, and he didn't have to.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad he didn't, Dan. I'm glad he didn't overthink it. I'm glad that that let's run the ball. And we've learned that with Ben Johnson. He wants to be a run first guy. He wants to be smash mouth, win at the line of scrimmage, and run the football. And man, let's not give our bouquets to DeAndre Swift and Kyle Monangai. Obviously, we recognize their yardage here and what they've done for Bears running backs, but they run hard every play. Every play they run hard. It doesn't matter who it is. If it's Swift or it's Monangai. Monangai looks like, after 12 games, he looks like a different player from the first couple weeks of the season. It's unbelievable how well they're running the football right now, both those guys.
Yeah, this is not the Cincinnati Bengals. And for those of us who are waiting for Monangai to kind of validate a performance like that, they were running over Jalen Carter. They were running over real guys. That's Zach Bond. This is not the Bengals. This is not the Giants. And to do it on their turf, they emptied out that building. And I'll tell you this too.
That was awesome.
Philadelphia fans are correct when they say fire Kevin. I don't know if it's going to be tonight or tomorrow. That guy's got to go.
Yeah, he's got to go. It's quite the difference from last year to this year.
It is, and this is not to take anything away from the Bears' performance. Please, please, please do not interpret it as such. The Bears played great, and there's something clearly wrong with the Eagles' offense.
Well, I'll tell you what. If I was ever a professional athlete in any sport, the last city I'd ever want to play in is Philadelphia. Man, they are
They're awesome.
brutal.
They're awesome.
God, their first 3 and out, they're getting booed.
They're awesome. And booing, letting them take it down to the 2-minute warning. And how about the camera catching Santa Claus leaving the building?
Oh.
Because famously, that
They
was
kept showing
always,
the Grinch.
but remember, that's what was always said. Well, the Philly fans are so tough and so mean, they boo Santa Claus.
Yeah.
That was, for growing up, that's what they would always say about the Philly fans. And then to show a disheveled Santa Claus who is just bereft, sort of shambling out, shuffling up the vomitory and out of the building. Beautiful.
Yeah, it was great.
Just beautiful.
Yeah, I don't. Well, I mean, after not going for the extra point on their last touchdown to make it an 8-point game, I didn't quite understand that, why they went for 2 there. Take the point, make it 8 points, so it's only a 1-score game. I love going for the field goal there at the end and seeing that field goal go wide left, and the backdrop is nothing. It's 85% empty seats. It's beautiful.
No,
what the Bears did to those fans and to that team today was just remarkable.
Especially, I can't highlight enough the fact that the game changed when the Bears took the ball on the tush push.
Mm-hmm.
I can't say it enough. I can't highlight it enough of the symbolic meaning of that. It's not just the Bears are 9-3 in Ben Johnson's first year and perhaps overachieving, definitely overachieving. We can say it. It's okay. It's not a bad thing to overachieve. But they lined up on a 3rd and 1, coming, and nobody had any second thought. It was right after the interception. They're rolling. They're coming to take the lead, and bang! Everything changed because of Nashon Wright's individual effort to decide to crash. It's very easy to run up to the pile or to half-ass it over to the pile, but the moment he saw the football exposed and Jalen Hurts not down, watch him. He goes immediately for it and tugs and rips that thing out of there and ends up recovering the fumble. What a play, man.
Yeah, no, that's a great play, and probably the signature play of this season for the Chicago Bears with 5 games to go. And I cannot wait to hear Dennis Allen talk about it, get asked about it, because I'm sure that they've watched tape and watched over and over and over in the Eagles when certain situations, when Jalen Hurts, how he turns, which way he turns to lean and go in. And is that the side that you had Nashon Wright come through and say, all right, this is what we're looking for on this particular play? We get into scrum. Our secondary guys, our deep guys, you push their guys, push into his lead, and then Nashon comes in. So I really cannot wait to hear him break that down and talk about it, how that was implemented based on what they saw in game film. So really just a great play. The guy has had some signature defensive takeaways this year for the Bears. He leads the league in individual takeaways at 8. Just a remarkable season for a guy who's come here on a 1-year, just over $1 million deal. And as we talked with Kevin Fishbane yesterday on the show on Forward Progress, he's playing himself into a contract. Hopefully it's here with the Chicago Bears, but we'll see what all breaks down.
Let's run down some of the numbers for you. Caleb Williams finished 17 of 36 for 154 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. I didn't calculate his rating because I don't care. Kyle Monangai, 22 carries, 130 yards, and a touchdown. DeAndre Swift, 18 carries, 125 yards, and a touchdown. Caleb Williams scrambled for 13. DJ Moore had a carry for 10. Luther Burden, 1 for 3. Cole Kmet was the leading receiver, caught all of his targets for 36 yards in the score. Luther Burden had 4 catches for 33 yards. Colston Loveland had 3 catches for 28. Olamide Zacchaeus, 2 catches for 19. DJ Moore, 2 catches for 17. Swift with a catch for 13. Adunze, just 2 catches for 8 yards. But it didn't matter on a day when the passing game was secondary to steamrolling the other team with a memorably successful rushing afternoon. I would like to go back, actually, if you have that, I don't know if you have that 85 box where you said November 10th of 85. I'd like to know if the total between the two, Monangai and Swift, was actually higher than Peyton and Suey, because I don't know if Peyton was like 170 and Suey was 130. I just remember them both rushing for 100. I think Peyton and Roland Harper may have actually done it many years before. But that is to have two guys at 125 or over. There's a lot of questions that need to be asked in Philadelphia right now. You talk about you can imagine what those post games sound like. Probably lighting things on fire. My God.
Yeah, and I mean the entire state of Pennsylvania with Philadelphia and Pittsburgh. I mean, the post game reaction after the Steelers loss to the Bears. I mean,
yes.
Did you see the video of was it James Harrison?
I didn't, but I didn't.
He's
think
like
about the Bears are laying waste to Pennsylvania right now.
Calling for everyone to be fired. I think the Bears have won Pennsylvania more than Trump did.
Now, if only the Bears could go to Happy Valley right now and do horrible things to everybody there, as long as the Bears
play the Nittany Lions.
Yes, no, don't even play them. Just go and do bad things to people there. As long as awful things are happening to Pennsylvania, see if they can have a sinkhole open up right under Happy Valley and just eat the whole city.
What did I say? I said it was the 85 season, right?
That's what you said. You said it was November 10th, 85, when they last had two 100-yard rushers in the same game.
Yep, I got you. November 10th, 1985, Chicago Bears win 24-3.
Mm-hmm.
They scored a touchdown every quarter, a field goal in the fourth. Let's take a look here. Passing,
so the total
rushing,
here was
receiving.
Monangai and Swift at 130 and 125. We're at 255. I'd love to know what Peyton, because it was Peyton and Suey.
Walter Payton had 107. Matt Suey had 102.
This was by a mile.
Yeah.
What an all-time day. And it goes back to the offensive line. Do you think they're going to cop out and give a game ball to the entire offensive line?
If Nashon Wright doesn't get one, I'm done with it.
Seriously, Nashon Wright should get one and permanently. And he or like the equivalent of a golden share, like a golden game ball. It's like
a golden Tom share. Matt Suey, 102 yards on 16 attempts. 17 was his long.
Okay.
And then Walter Payton, 107 on 26 attempts, 19 for his long.
But that was the lowly Lions back then. This is at Philly. This was a battle of 8-3 teams. Unreal.
That's great.
Unreal. And just what an opportunity for Ben Johnson. Watch the Coach of the Year numbers now. You start.
What if Nashon Wright gets the game ball and he gives it to Kevin Warren? Would you be mad?
That would be hilarious. I also thought. Now, this is the difference between the way modern coaches think and others. When the Bears had that, what was it, 4th and 1 or 3rd and 1? And they ended up being driven back. I think it was a 3rd and 1, and Monangai ended up being driven back late in the game. If they had pushed it there, if they had just lined up to show it, and they would never do it because Ben Johnson has too much professional respect at this. He was a rookie head coach; he probably wouldn't have done it. But that would have been that chance. Like, okay, your push didn't work. Watch us pick this up. But
you know what's one thing surprised me about the Eagles this game? The entire game was the play, the effort of Azie Brown. You know, I mean, he was competing the whole time for all the controversy and drama we've heard throughout the season about what's happening there and how he's unhappy with the offense and wants the ball more. Just thought he was playing pretty hard, and it's at one point he caught a ball that was contested, and he stood up and he flexed a little bit, and I was like, man, I'd love to have a guy like that size who just looks like an absolute monster linebacker catching passes for you.
Yeah, it was a great play that he made on that touchdown too, because I thought Wright was going to pick it.
I did too.
And then he just reached over and got it. Azie Brown finished with 10 catches on the 12 targets, 132 yards and 2 touchdowns. Devontae Smith, 5 receptions for 48 yards. But, man, Saquon Barkley, 13 attempts, 56 yards with a long of 15. And that dropped pass.
Oh, yeah, all by himself. Nothing but grass around him. Yeah, nothing but green. And Colson Loveland, too. That dude, he has, 2 spectacular catches a game now.
He's got iron vices for hands.
It's crazy.
That guy's, the strength and size of his hands, you can see it. I mean, even on some mundane catches, that is not a body catcher, as they say. Looking at the tackle numbers, and obviously these get adjusted after the teams watch film. Jaquan Brisker had 5 tackles, Byard with 4, Wright with 4, Wright also with the forced fumble and the fumble recovery. The Bears did not have a sack, did they?
No, I don't think they had one really good pressure.
Yep. And Grady Jarrett had a couple. He had one tackle at the line of scrimmage. I don't know if it was a tackle for loss, but it was sort of an unspectacular defensive day, with the exception of a couple of those remarkable plays. And yet another that interception by Byard, again, reading Hurts's eyes the entire time. Look where he starts on that play. Look at the distance. If you can look at the all 22s, look at the distance he covered from the moment Hurts got out of the pocket and he recognized that he was looking downfield. He tracked that. He hunted that one down. That'd be not some overthrow.
If Next Gen had a stat like that, the most yards covered for an interception.
No, do they?
Yeah, that'd be great. My favorite play of the game, though, was the one where Andrew Billings is chasing Jalen Hurts down the right sideline. He's coming out of the pocket.
Hey, man. Do you
Big
remember?
Bill's on his horse, and the horse died.
That poor horse. That poor horse.
And then he had to get off the horse and chase after him on his feet.
Yes. Would you remember the Beast Quake? Do you remember when Marshawn Lynch, they said that everybody in Seattle was jumping up and down, that it registered on a seismograph?
Yes.
I think that happened just with Andrew Billings trying to chase him down.
So great. I love watching that man play. And then Strangles the Clown here, if you see the comment on the screen, it's now called the shush push.
I like it.
Yeah, it's good.
I like it. That's cute. That's cute.
Rip Larry Horse.
Oh, no. He didn't kill Larry. Larry's okay, as far as I know. I don't know.
He doesn't ride Larry Horse from the pocket?
No.
Okay.
He didn't ride Larry. Maybe they have to do it with him like Andre the Giant in Princess Bride, where they had to suspend him on metal cables and walk the horse underneath.
Or maybe the horse gets on Billings' back.
And the horse that rode in on him. The Bears have 9 wins.
Yes, they do, buddy, and they are going to the playoffs, and they're going to win some playoff games. Hey, I'm telling you, start thinking bigger.
Why not?
Start thinking bigger with this team, man.
not?
It's too stupid. It's too stupid right now not to. I mean, look at what happens with the coaching staff in place. I mean, this is just ridiculous. A year ago today, Dan, Matt Eberflus was fired.
And Jim Boylan's still fired too, now that I think about it. Well, while we're savoring things, yes, Matt Eberflus is still fired. He's not on the Bears anymore. That was a year ago.
Yeah.
Look
at where this team is a year later.
And then you know what happened? I got fired.
Yes, you did.
Yes. So Matt Eberflus got fired, and that was good. And then I got fired. That was kind of bad. But then I'm here. So
but now it's good. So in the order, yes. Boylan got fired, Eberflus got fired, you got fired.
I got fired. Right.
It's a trifecta.
Yes, but I'm back, and Boylan's not.
Well, he could be. Maybe he's doing a podcast somewhere. Maybe he's doing it like South Sudan with Luol Deng, and that's why you don't know about it.
He's doing Jim Boylan unfettered, and he's not even hooked up to anything, but he's sitting at a car table.
That's him in a car driving, and it's Jim Boylan unbuckled, and he just drives into walls. Oh, boy. Bears win today, 24-15 in Philadelphia. They are now the 2 seed in the NFC.
Hey, man, and just don't make this like the Commanders last year. And as you say, make it matter. Make all this stuff matter.
Yes, make it matter, man. Like let's not be satisfied with we surpassed expectations. We won more than we won last year. Don't be satisfied with that. Let's take this and go, man. Let's take this and run. Who we got? We got Packers 2 in the next 3 weeks. Let's kick the shit out of them too. Let's go to Lambeau and drop 50 on those assholes. Come on.
I don't know if they're going to be dropped 50.
Who cares? Why not? Why Dan? They certainly could. I mean, that was a 10-3 score today at halftime. They completely and thoroughly dominated the world champions. And, they could have easily been up 21-3.
They were falling forward for 6 yards.
Yeah, it was great.
You know what it looked like? You know what it looked like? A college game. In some respects, when you see...
Like the second week of the season where you have like a top 10 team playing a...
Yeah, that looked like a pre-conference schedule... your
it's like Ohio State taking on Grambling. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I don't know about that, but it's one of those things where like Illinois plays Northern or something like that, and that's what that looked like, and that was at Philly. There's my guess is, and I'm not exaggerating when I think they might launch their OC. tonight or tomorrow. They might just do it. They might want something. But they're not stupid. Howie Roseman is not stupid. This is a team that generally behaves rashly.
Yeah.
But they're 8-4. It's not like they've still got a season here. But
they're still. Again, if they don't make the playoffs now at this point, after being 8-3, now 8-4, that's going to be a complete unbelievable finish.
Bring him again.
Hey,
I
listen,
hope the Bears
just
see him again.
Just so you know, Dan.
Yes.
Second week of the college football season this year, Ohio State played. They hosted Grambling and they beat them 70-0. Just so you know.
Okay. Well, maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit on that, but this is one of those wins. I'm not saying that it's 44-0 in Dallas, but this is a huge victory if you're a Bears fan and if you've seen a lot of these seasons. I don't know where it goes from here, but I've always said this, that the best time to be a fan is when your team is getting good. And I think this is one of those times. I know it's non-linear, and that goes for Caleb Williams. It goes for having to play with no linebackers, with everything else that they deal with. But this is one of those times where even if next year they were to win the Super Bowl, especially if next year they were to win the Super Bowl, when you have those marking points and you know it when it happens, and you can say, I remember that day when I first started to think bigger, when I first started to really believe that there was more to this than beating bad quarterbacks and taking advantage of a favorable schedule, when you really said, this team is good, this may be that day.
Yeah, Dan, and the schedule is what it is. The Bears and the Patriots, I think, have the two worst strength of schedule wins in all of the NFL. And that's fine. Neither one of these teams sat down and picked out their schedule or what divisions they're in. It's just that's the way it came out, and you got to go out and play the games. The Bears are now 9-3, and like you said, it's not linear. This season needs to be exclusive in and of itself. Mm-hmm. You look at the Commanders last year; they go to the NFC Championship game with a rookie quarterback in Jaden Daniels, and there was a lot of talk. The Bears missed the boat and the broat. They should have taken Jaden Daniels. They made a mistake with Caleb Williams. Look what Jaden Daniels is doing. Look what Jaden Daniels did with his team. Look at the Commanders this year.
Mm-hmm. Well, that was the scouting report on Daniels, was that he couldn't hold up.
Just because it was 12-5 last year, they go to the NFC Championship game, there was no guarantees that anything was going to happen this year, that they would make it back to the playoffs or get that or take the next step and win the Super Bowl because you build season after season. That's not a guarantee. Take this season right now. Live within this season. You have 5 regular season games left. Live within those 5 games. Let's go out there, put together the best game plan possible, execute more plays than you fail. Let's win more games. Let's get in the playoffs. Let's make a playoff run. Live for this season as it is right now. Don't worry about, let's build on this after this year. This year and next year, you have no idea what next year looks like. Maybe next year's better. Maybe next year's a lot worse. Live in this season.
And look what Ben Johnson's doing on the road.
Oh, yeah, he's got more road wins than Matt Eberflus had in his tenure as Bears coach.
He's got more road wins than home wins. I mean, look what they're doing when they travel. And you talk about the things that they say can travel and things that don't travel. But an offensive line like this, being able to trust those guys up front, and you get the feeling that when the play is called and they break the huddle, and you notice the other thing too, did we see Caleb kill a play? Did we see him can or kill in this game?
I saw can one time.
Okay. He might have.
Yeah, I saw it one time.
But that tells you that Ben Johnson had a leg up on Vic Fangio. That tells me that in the chess game, when they were able to stick with their first call and read the fact that it was a light box, we saw a lot of that, 4-2-5, and however they were covering it. But the fact that they didn't have another, they were pointing at each other and trying to figure it out, and him touching, going to the ear holes, it tells me that whatever this game plan was what they had in there. They weren't going to second call, third call. They were coming out of the huddle ready to fire off the line and get – and the number of missed tackles too.
Yeah,
like,
a lot of missed tackles.
That started to weigh on them. It's one thing to get
a lot of
that.
missed tackles.
They were – and the vision from both running backs, knowing how things were blocked, being able to see how things were blocked, that's how it's done. And that means you're having some good practices. That's what it looks like when it's not just a coach saying we had a great week at practice. When you have somebody, when the game plan matches up with the looks that you're getting, and there were no surprises, and you say, okay, you're going to come out with this box again. We're gonna run right over you. And then when you did have to make a decision, when I was highlighting that fourth quarter decision by Caleb Williams to make the throw to Zacchaeus. When you do have to decide, when they are showing you different things and it's working, what it comes down to is really good coaching. It's really good coaching.
Yeah, no, for sure. And it's amazing what happens when you have NFL caliber coaching staff in your locker room. I'm going to tell you the thing, and I've said this before about Caleb, and I think it's his greatest attribute right now in year two, and what are we, 29 games into his NFL career, is the fact that he's got a Teflon coating when it comes to making mistakes or failing to execute, and how the mental ability to live one play at a time is absolutely remarkable. And if there's one thing I could take and insert it into every kid that I've coached throughout the last 5 years, it would be the ability to take one play and live one play at a time. Once one play ends, and it's like the Ted Lasso thing where he told his players to be a goldfish, to have the memory of a goldfish, and just forget about what happened immediately before and move on. His natural ability to do that is remarkable, and it makes me jealous to see him have it at such a high level. And if we could insert that into kids, man, at the youth level, it would be amazing. What were you going to say? What am I cutting you off on?
It's okay. I just we're breaking a little breaking news here. Ben Johnson ripped his shirt off in the locker room. And I don't know what this means for our guy, Ari Levy.
It means free hot dogs.
And Wiener Circle. I didn't know if it had to be on the field but I think we should, I'm going to text. I'm going to see what I can find out here.
Well, if not, get some for the show, would you?
Ben Johnson took his shirt off in the locker room, and everybody went completely apeshit. Everybody went crazy. Apparently,
Vic Fangio took his pants off in the locker room.
Started waving him around. He threw him at the offensive coordinator, trying to strangle him. Oh, my God. That locker room right now. The joy in that locker room to see a shirtless Ben Johnson finishing off good, better, best.
So this was...
we reached that point in the season.
This was Azie Trapillo's second start, right?
Yes.
Azie Trapillo's second start?
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited if he is the starter moving forward. I'm excited to see what he looks like. Give it three games from now. There was a couple opportunities where he looked like a guy making his second start, but the natural ability that he has and to be able to get out in space. A couple times the ball carrier kind of got past him because his feet got kind of stuck in cement. I'm really, really excited to see the coaching staff work with him and see what happens if he stays at left tackle for the next 5 games and see what happens, what that offensive line looks like going into Week 18.
Yeah, especially with him playing next to Tooney. And it's so funny that we finally heard his name called because of a false start. And everyone's like, oh, what?
You're right.
Oh, no.
But you know what, though? They could have actually called it either guy because Trapillo moved too.
Sure.
I was kind of hoping they would have called it on Azie. So it
reminded me. It reminded me of being in high school when the smartest kid in our class, one of the smart kids in my high school class, got an answer wrong in class. And the teacher, this in AP U.S. history, and the teacher just kind of went, no. And the rest, it was just a quiet, we all stood up, and we all gave a very slow building standing ovation. Because it was the first time that this person had ever gotten any question wrong. And that's how I felt about Joe Tooney. It's like, well, you're It's okay. You're entitled. You don't have to be perfect.
You're entitled to
all the
one
time.
mistake.
You can make a mistake. We're all
right.
here for you, Joe.
This from a guy from Shy. They gave Ben's shirt to Warren. He took it off and gave it to Kevin Warren.
Here you go. Go build a stadium.
Wait, where is that other one? Oh, this is a good name. The Boylan Punch Clock Podcast.
I'm Jim Boylan. Welcome. Now punch in, because we're going to talk some basketball. Boy, God.
Right, maybe like this guy says, maybe Nashon Wright got Ben's shirt.
So give him something.
No
Poor
game ball.
Nashon
Here's my
Wright.
shirt.
Seriously. What does the guy have to do? If he doesn't get what are we going to do if he didn't get a game ball?
Well, I think if he would have scored a touchdown on that forced fumble recovery, then he probably could have gotten a ball.
I figured it out. Nashon Wright has to get the stadium built. That's clearly what it is. It's clear that Nashon Wright's going to have to go to Springfield. Nashon Wright is going to have to break bread with J.B. Pritzker and say, listen, man, look, we need some tax certainty here. We've got to get this pushed through. And he's going to call a special session that then and only then, apparently, will Nashon Wright get a game ball if he actually comes up with a way to put together the perfect stadium deal. He's going to have to design it himself, too. He's got to get a degree in architecture. He's going to have to design the stadium, and he's going to have to supervise the building of it.
All right, here, this message from Rob. I love the Lions revenge game. So it's week 18. What if the Bears have the number 1 seed on the line with a win over Detroit, and they draw 52 on them?
Yeah, but they're going to rest Caleb, and they're going to do it with the Bajancy.
Oh, that would be even better.
That's
because then even at that point, Dan, even if the Bears go into that game, and they're like,
you don't have to finish that sentence. I know, and yes, you're right. Do not finish that sentence. I totally agree with you. And yes,
I gotta finish.
I know.
So they're 13-3 going into that game, and Bajan starts and scores. He drops 63 on him. You got to start this Bajan guy in the playoffs.
I told you.
He was just warming the field up for this Bajan guy. Oh boy!
It's like Tom Brady and Drew Bledsoe. Oh, well, that was really fun.
This is great.
That was just spectacular. And
hey, what did I tell you today on DBU?
You told me you thought the Bears were going to win the game.
And that's why I said they're going to win outright, and I took the +7.
Well, good call. Good call. I still like my Bulls bets for the game tonight. Damn it. You can say what you want. I've got Isaac Okoro hitting a 3.
Just all he needs is one.
That's all he needs. Come on.
All he
Isaac.
needs is one.
Daddy needs a new pair of shoes.
All right, so are
Isaac.
we petitioning the NFL for a every year Black Friday game, 2:00 for the Bears?
I'm in. I haven't eaten anything today because I ate so much last night.
Oh, my lunch was I had a whole plate of leftovers.
Oh no, I couldn't look at food all day. I couldn't look at anything. I will later though. Ooh, tonight might be a watch the Bulls and get Al's night.
Al's beef?
Well, yeah. Meanwhile,
that's great.
A couple other things.
So jealous.
What is going on in that Benedict Cumberbatch commercial? Where he's talking about his white couch and the.
I think he's reading Amazon reviews.
Okay.
Yeah, he's reading. So
right.
it's his
I
beautiful
didn't quite
voice.
Understand that? I get it.
And
thank you. And then when Amazon showed,
you know how I knew that, Dan? I watched the commercial.
Oh, I kind of half watched it.
Okay, all right, there you go.
When Amazon did the bit with the cheesesteak,
yes.
Why was the cheesesteak the color of spackle? Why was it gray? It's not usually gray like that, is it? I've had cheesesteak. I've been to Philly. I've had a cheesesteak.
Well, it depends if you use
I don't remember it.
Cheese Whiz or if you use like a white cheese.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Because
I've seen him white. Maybe it was just the color of the lighting.
No. It was not appetizing.
At the flat top.
whatever it was less than appetizing when if they was supposed to be some sort of half advertisement for a cheesesteak. No thanks for that one. I'll pass on the gray meat.
Just skip that one.
Yeah, I will.
You know who does a pretty good cheesesteak is Jersey Mike's.
Yes,
they do a pretty good one.
They're good. It's good. They can't figure out who their spokesman is, but other than that, it's good. Now I am I don't have a response yet, but I'm still researching whether or not there's going to be free hot dogs.
Well, he's busy right now trying to get orders in place.
Hold on, I'm gonna find out. I'm doing some hardcore journalism here. I am working with sources to find out if, in fact, Ben Johnson removing his shirt in the locker room means free hot. There it is. Tuesday.
Free hot dogs Tuesday?
Wiener Circle, free hot dog Tuesday. You literally heard it first here on Forward Progress. I have this on the best possible authority that the Wiener Circle will be providing free hot dogs because of Ben Johnson taking his shirt off Tuesday.
That's great. That's great. This message here, remember how hard we were on Nashon Wright in the preseason? Remember the Vikings game? Remember how much you did not like Nashon Wright?
Yes.
You liked him less than Sudanese basketball.
Well, nothing really gets me going like my issues with South Sudanese basketball.
South Sudanese basketball, sorry. Yeah, and so now, I mean, you fast forward 11 weeks, and you're the president of the Nashon Wright fan club.
You know why? Because I needed to take up for a guy whose game ball was stolen by the team president and CEO because it was his birthday.
Right, I think that
the guy's surrogate
I think this
got murdered.
This is right. This is actually, you were quoted in our week 1 postgame. Throw it to Nashon Wright side every play.
That's correct. That is absolutely correct. And
very good. Just say it.
Hey, absolutely true. There's
funny.
No question. And we should also note that they got off the field on a 3rd down in an early dime defense that had both Kyler Gordon and C.J. Gardner-Johnson on the field together.
Yeah, so I told you that he was going to do that, man. He talked about that. Talked about the cross training and using all these pieces like an offensive coordinator with lots of different offensive weapons. So,
well, here's the bottom line with this game. At least for 24 hours, at least until we reconvene and do this again on Monday, feel free to get a little silly. I am allowing you. Go ahead and dream. Go ahead and enjoy. Go ahead and luxuriate in this, because this is one of those wins. You know them when you see them. It wasn't all that pretty, because Bears football can look good even when they're not slinging the ball all over the place. We'll leave the Caleb Williams talk for another day, for another time. And yeah, to win a Super Bowl, there's going to be at least one game where they're going to make Caleb Williams throw for 400 yards and 4 touchdowns to beat you. That's going to happen.
Yep.
That a really good defense is going to make you do that. But let's not worry about that right now. What matters is the Bears are 9-3, and they just embarrassed the Eagles, and they have run roughshod over the state of Pennsylvania.
Next up, Penn State.
Seriously, just please, you have conquered Pittsburgh, you've conquered Philadelphia. Now, in a pincer movement, head toward Pennsylvania. You can go to Harrisburg and then head straight up the Susquehanna and then take out Happy Valley, and then we will have liberated the world from our oppressors.
Yeah, and they've dominated the NFC East this year.
This is great stuff.
Yeah, maybe we can get them moved to the NFC East, and they can play all those guys. Who haven't they played?
They're taking the North.
Oh yeah, they everybody. That's great.
They are taking the North.
A clean sweep of the NFC East. They took the East, Dan, and they're not giving it back. Damn it!
There it is. Well, they didn't say they weren't going to give back the East.
Well, no, I just said I'm gonna keep it.
They'll take the East for a while. They'll play with it. They'll have fun with it. They'll give it back in bad condition. That's what they'll do. Right. They'll return it, unusable.
It was pretty bad when they got it. And to think now, the Dallas Cowboys, who are the hottest team in that division, may make a run, take that division over. Get to see them again in the playoffs.
Eberflus.
Oh, the Matt Eberflus revenge game.
Uh-huh.
They're going to be like, Coach, how do you feel about this revenge game coming up? Why is it revenge? You coached the Bears.
By the way.
I did. I coached the Bears.
Huh? I got a beard and I wear glasses. I look smarter. Caleb Williams was asked about Ben Johnson taking his shirt off.
Sexy.
All he said was, he's a man of the people. I gotta say, he doesn't look terrible. He's in pretty good shape.
Well, he's young.
So. He's 37. Yeah, he's got 30, no excuse.
Older than that, isn't he? 38 or 9, maybe.
39?
Yeah, I think he's 39.
Yep, there it is.
Well, you remember how good you looked at 39? Remember how good I looked at 39?
You look good now.
Oh,
That's what's not
thanks, pal.
fair. Yeah. See, I don't. But you don't. You're one of those guys. Like I'm telling you, you're going to be one of those like old like European-looking guys with a big head of white hair, overhand.
Yeah, I think
smoking.
once I go fully white here, I'm gonna start smoking.
Start
take up
smoking.
smoking.
Yeah, start unfiltered European cigarettes and start wearing ascots. You'll be one of those guys. Well,
Really
I
bad.
think we should wrap it here. I'm too excited. And the Bears are 9-3. They have defeated the Philadelphia Eagles, and I can't wait to get going again. We're going to be back on Monday with DBU and with Forward Progress. But now, hey, weekend is just starting. Another 2 days to hang, and we're going to be watching college tomorrow.
Can you confirm this? Dual nipple rings for Ben Johnson?
Yeah, well, he was dripping hot wax on them too. Yeah, because he ripped off his shirt.
No,
and
that's what Nashon Wright got to do instead of a game ball.
No game ball. Yeah, he ripped off his shirt. He was wearing latex underneath, and then they ripped the latex off, and they hung him up by his nipple rings like a man called Horse.
So Bears Patriots Super Bowl Part 2.
They're going to Super Bowl.
Oh man, this is great. All right, Danny boy, what's the plan for tonight? You just eating?
I got Bulls.
Bulls. That's right. What time they play?
6:30. I got plays to diagram.
And is that on TV?
I got work to do.
Is that on TV? Can we all watch that? Is that accessible?
If you like, if you want to, if you have Bulls and Hornets on your menu, go ahead and enjoy.
Yeah, I think I'm worn out after that. After this game,
Come on.
No, I think we're going out to. We're gonna take the kids out to like an axe throwing thing tonight.
At each other?
No,
okay.
Yeah, not at each other. No, they do that out in the backyard.
Kids, have at it.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh no, I don't tell them. They do it on their own.
Well,
all right, great win. So the Bears take down the Eagles in Philadelphia, 24-15. The Bears are now 9-3 and firmly on top of the NFC North. You have the Packers at 8-3-1, the Lions at 7-5, the Minnesota Vikings at 4-7, and up next for your Chicago Bears, the Green Bay Packers.
That's going to do it for us. Thanks to our friends at Beer Church. Thanks for hanging out. Have a great weekend.